Konnichiwa, I'm John Hornick. Welcome to my Japanese Faves series where we'll cover every major type of Japanese food. This lesson is Donabe 6, chicken tsukune, which are meatballs, and stir-fried udon noodles. Here's a tasty Donabe dish for a chilly night, featuring Japanese-style meatballs, chicken meatballs, called Tsukune, and stir-fried udon noodles. My inspiration for this dish was a recipe from the Japanese Pantry web store, but I've added miso and sesame oil to the meatball mixture, and I've browned the meatballs. I've also used my Kakejiro 3 recipe for the broth, which you can find in my Demystifying Japanese Dashi-based Sauces lesson in my Japanese Faves series. I made the Kakejiro with regular shoyu, or Japanese soy sauce. My demystifying lesson uses light-colored shoyu called usukuchi shoyu. I've chosen Napa cabbage, asparagus, scallions, and some wild mushrooms for the accompanying veg, but let your imagination be your guide. Shiitake mushrooms would be good too. When you serve the dish, include a little usukuchi, which is a Japanese condiment which is kind of spicy and kind of citrusy, or you could use some tobanjan or some chili garlic sauce. Include a couple of teaspoons for each guest on the side so they can mix it in as they like. I also usually include a little bit of sea salt on the side that they can mix in as they like, if they like it to be a little saltier. So let's start cooking. All right, now the first thing we're going to do is make our meatballs, and to do that we're going to mix up the chicken mixture. So I already have the ground chicken in the bowl here. I'm going to add the minced onion and the 2 misos, the red miso and the white miso. Then 1 tablespoon of sesame oil. And then we're going to add some salt and pepper. You can either use kosher salt or sea salt. Do it lightly, okay? You don't want to oversalt them. And then some freshly ground black pepper. Same thing, you don't want to use too much. And then we're going to mix that up and knead it until it kind of gets kind of pasty. Okay, now we have our mixture. Now we're going to make our meatballs, and we're going to make the meat. They're going to be kind of sticky, right? So you're going to make some meatballs and make them about 1 to 1.5 inch in size. I'm putting them down onto a sheet pan that I've dusted with some potato starch. You could use flour if you want to, and I'm putting them on there as they are, and the potato starch will help to keep them from sticking to the pan. But we're going to go back and dredge them in potato starch so that they're not so sticky when we're cooking them. Okay. Do this with each one of or all of this mixture till we've made however many meatballs it makes. All right, now here we have all of our chicken meatballs known as tsukune in Japanese. And we're going to take them and we're going to roll them a little bit. We're going to put them into the potato starch and coat them. Then roll them again a little bit, get them nice and round, and then put them on another pan. And we're going to do that with each one of these. Now I have probably about a 1/2 cup of the potato starch here. You'll need about 1 cup total, but I don't like to use any more than I have to, so I'm going to start off with a smaller amount. If I have to add more, I will. And you want to shake off any of the extra potato starch. Do that with each one of your meatballs. There we go. All of the meatballs have been dredged in the potato starch. Now, if you're not going to cook them right away, put them in the fridge, but I am going to be cooking them right away. All right, now here we have our udon noodles, which have already been cooked. I've had them on a 1/2 sheet pan with some potato starch I put them on top of some potato starch. Now I'm sprinkling some over the top. Now I want to toss them in the potato starch. Okay, that will help to separate them, and it will also enable us to brown them when we stir fry them. Okay, just toss them nicely so that they're nicely coated in the potato starch, and so that they're kind of individual again and not sticking together as one big clump. Okay, there you go. Okay, now we're going to brown the meatballs. I've put some oil into this pan, and I'm heating it until it just starts to get little whiffs of smoke. Okay, now we're going to brown the meatballs. Putting them into the pan with the hot oil. And what we're going to do is let them cook a little bit, turn them, roll them, cook a little more, try to get them browned all around. And if you don't feel any oil when you put it down in the pan, try to swirl it around a little bit to get a little oil on the bottom of it. All right, let's see how we're doing. Oh yeah, we're getting some nice brown. And turn them over. Okay, these all look pretty good. All right, so we're going to turn off the heat, and we're going to be using them in the donabe in just a couple minutes. Okay, now we're going to stir fry the udon noodles in the wok, and I've already put some oil in the wok. We're going to see how hot it is. Yep, looks good. We're going to move those around, get them a little bit coated with the oil, all right? And then we're going to let these cook, stir fry a little bit until they start to get a little bit golden. Okay, we're starting to take on some color here. Just tossing them, keep tossing them. Okay, you don't want them burned. Okay, so we have some nice color on the noodles here. We're going to turn off the heat and toss them a little bit more, just so that they're not too much in contact with the pan. We still don't want them to burn, okay? And if you want, you can turn them out into another bowl so they'll stop cooking. All right, now we're going to assemble the donabe, and we want to start with your donabe on a cold burner on your stove, unless it's one that can be heated empty. This one isn't, okay? So we're going to put the Kakejiro into the donabe, and 1 tablespoon of sesame oil. Then we're going to add the meatballs. And we're going to add the cabbage. And the garlic. All right. Then we're going to cover that, and we're going to turn on the heat and bring it to a boil. Okay, it's our donabe has come to a boil. You can tell because steam is coming out of this little hole here. We're going to turn it down to simmer, and we're going to let it simmer for 5 minutes. Okay, we've been simmering 5 minutes. We're now going to add the mushrooms and the asparagus and the scallions. Now is also the time to add the noodles. Okay, so let's put those noodles in there and get those mixed in. Okay, now we're going to cover and let it simmer for 5 more minutes. Okay, it's been 5 more minutes. Everything looks great. Okay, now it's time to plate up. Okay, now we're gonna plate up. Now, normally, the way this would be done in Japan is that it would be done on a burner right in front of the guests, okay? We're not doing that tonight. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna plate up a bowl here for the camera. We're gonna try to get a mixture of all the goodies, the noodles, the meatballs, the mushrooms and the asparagus and the scallions, and the Napa cabbage. Okay, and then we're going to add some broth. Okay, there we go. That is chicken tsukune, or chicken meatballs, and udon noodles. You can see photos of the final dish at my Instagram, which is @Chef's Apprentice Cook Like a Pro. Please remember to subscribe to my channel, and thanks for watching.